Alright, so here's this little blow-off valve that I purchased with the gasket that it comes with. This is a dual port. It comes with a pretty intense spring inside there. I already took it apart. It's pre-lubed as well, so I'm gonna see how this works. This is actually the generic version of the TurboSmart. I have a real TurboSmart on my Gen 2, but I wanted to see if and test a little hypothesis or curiosity as to how these actually work and if they actually do work. So I'm gonna go and install this on the MS6 and see how this sounds. Gonna probably do full VTA, so I'll be using this to vent to atmosphere. Most people think that you can't run that on a MS3 or MS6 engine, which is a 2.3 DC, but you actually can. The Gen 2 is actually full VTA and only VTA, and it runs perfectly fine. Through my experience, and there's some others that actually do this, have the same setup, and they're fine with their vehicles. So let me go ahead and go take this outside, install it, and then see how it sounds, because I want some more noises, and the MS6 could use some sort of noise. And this is actually built pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It has O-rings inside here. Inside the cylinder wall, there's O-rings, and there's actually an O-ring just like the dual ports TurboSmart one has an O-ring as well within the housing inside the cap here. So it has pretty good sealage. It even comes with a plug and 2 O-rings, I believe it is, or 3. There's 3 of them in there. So that plug is if you do full in atmosphere. So this would actually just plug this hole up in here. The horn twists off, and then you use this and you plug it up. But yeah, it even comes with a little tool here. We'll see exactly how well this gasket works. But let's go ahead and go and plug it up and see how it sounds. Alright, so I've done this before, and all I'm going to do is remove this. This is a stock bypass valve. So take this off, and then this off, and then swap it out, and that's pretty much it. If you're gonna keep this, don't drop that seal. So as you just noticed, it was not gonna work. The outlet wasn't facing in the direction where that hose is at, but if you can see these hex-based screws, let me put this on where it won't fall. And if you recall, earlier in the video I showed that it came with this little tool. So you loosen those up. Conveniently enough, when you do, you could turn it. That actually might be good. And all you do is you tighten them. Now I'm tying them across from each other just so that it seats in properly. Now this isn't fully tightened because I'm gonna test this out really quick. So it looks like that position might be okay, or I could actually turn it a little bit. So let me play with this and I'll come back. Alright, so I twisted the little flange in a position where it will be better, so I won't be so awkward. The outlet actually fits pretty good in this. So now I gotta put the gasket. We'll see how good this is. And the screws on, see if these actually will fit or not, but we'll see right now. My clamp's on, this is on. This is actually a little bit loose, so I'm gonna have to replace that. But let me go get a clamp for this one and then adjust it. Obviously it's a little cold. I skipped the install process on the Accessport. It's simple. All you do is you put install and then you do stage 0 or stage 1, 91 or 93 depending on the location you're at. And I actually went ahead and I put the displays that I want to see. These are the normal displays I usually put on here. Some people prefer having the long-term fuel trims and the short-term fuel trims. I don't necessarily use those unless I really have to identify an issue. Normally I focus on the AFR and my coolant temperature and then the pressure that the internals are giving out. So this is the Accessport installed in the car. The way you do the adjustment on the blow-off valve if you're going VTA is you rev it and the needle should go back to normal. It might bounce a little bit down but go back to normal. But if it bounces ridiculously and it starts stalling and sputtering, then you gotta go adjust it and turn the knob on the stiff side. So what you normally would do is you soften it up and then you just turn it until you know, it no longer does that. So let me show you. So I just did that. AFR should go back to normal. There's no check engine light. So I think I actually adjusted it pretty good beforehand. See if you could hear it from the outside. So you could hear it from the outside. Idle went back to normal. AFR is perfectly fine. So if you can see, the AFR is perfect. Normally it would be around 14.55 to 14.85. Those are the perfect numbers you want to see. Let me just continue doing the adjustments here and get back to you. So I'm going to rev it again. Going back to normal. 14.5, 14.75, 14.85. So that's good. Those are good readings. And that's pretty much you see how I jumped to 14.41. I might have to just do a little turn over there and double check. But so far the reading on the AFR is pretty good. So this is full VTA, guys. You know, when it comes to full VTA, you'll be getting the pops in between shifts, and then occasional letting off the clutch, or not the clutch, but the pedal, gas pedal, if you're on a higher rev, and you'll actually get like some sort of pop. So there's that. The car has to be tuned. So I'm currently running a Cobb OTS map. Don't be hauling butt when you have these maps. If you first get an Accessport, don't be hauling butt in these maps. Get your full bolt-ons. Go get your downpipe. Go get your intake. Go get all the things you need to be full bolt-on. Then do a custom tune. So if you're close to being full bolt-on, just drive it normally. Don't be hauling in it. That way you save yourself some money, unless you don't care about spending money. You could do an E-map, an E-tune, get it tuned, and then tune it again. But I would do the full bolt-ons first, and then do a custom tune. But that's just me. That's how I did it on the Gen 2. So when you're on these maps, just make sure you don't continue to have like 1, 2, 3 and above readings when you're on wide open throttle. Only worry about this on wide open throttle. But then again, these are Cobb maps. They're not that great. They're only meant for you to drive on the mods that you're on. They're not meant for you to be hauling in it, because it's not a real tune that's specifically for your car. These are just tunes for you to drive the vehicle. So most folks don't know this, and they start hauling butt in it, and once they finally tune their car, there might have been something that occurred in the engine. Something caused an issue when they were running this type of map for like ages, and then finally it just gives out on them, or other issues because of the map. Typically a KR, if this is on a high number during wide open throttle and you continue doing that, you know, you could say that zoom zoom boom and then part out happens, which is one reason why some people part out their cars. But yeah, so let me continue adjusting this and get back to you in a second. If you're wondering, this says harder, this one says softer. So what you do is, when you're revving it, normally you would have this to close to the softest setting, which there's an O-ring that's inside there. Do not let the cap pass that O-ring. Put it like below the O-ring. So basically when you're doing soft, it's like loosening the cap, and when you're doing harder, you're tightening it. So when you're doing this, put the cap to underneath the O-ring. Don't pass the O-ring, and then rev it, and then adjust it accordingly until the idle goes back to normal. Every time you rev it and it sputters or it tries to give out and you're doing VTA, just tighten it up. Just do a turn, just one turn each time until you get that perfect balance on the idle when you rev it.